Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Daggerheart. Wonderful to see you all. Let's do some introductions. Let's start with Jason.
Hi. I am
Hi.
who shall not be named, but has been named Jason. I'll be playing Astoy, our warrior druid, tonight. And looking forward to the session and seeing how far we can go without getting TPK'd.
5 minutes.
And I'll pass it over to Knots, who may cause the TPK.
Oh. I mean, to be fair, this clusterfuck was not caused by Knots. Nothing that has happened since we walked in the cave was caused by the goblin this time.
This time.
Hey, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Knots, the Goblin Ranger, who is hopefully going to survive and not let anyone else cause more group trauma. We'll see. Maggie?
She's on a...
You unmuted, but we can't hear you. We'll come back to you.
I caught that, though.
Right? Ryan.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm playing Nyx, and I hope we don't die. And the end. Carly.
Yeah, hi, I'm Carly. I am the game master, or dagger master, or dungeon master, or whatever words you want to use for the person that plays everybody else besides the player characters. And, you know, maybe occasionally provide some situations for things to happen.
For trauma, right?
I mean, who knows? Who really knows? But, Maggie, can we hear you?
Hello. Okay.
Yay.
My computer decided to do a weird thing. Hello. I'm Maggie. I'm playing. Yes. I'm playing Grace Halbert. And I'm alive this week, which is nice.
Hello.
Yeah. And I did nothing to cause the chaos.
I mean, we all know who's to blame, and lucky for us, she's not here to defend herself.
Stubby.
Oof.
Oh, we've got a round of advantages for the group. Thank you, Raven, for the cheer. Definitely appreciated. So everyone, make sure you mark an advantage somehow so you remember that you have it.
Wonderful. But yes, last we left off, they took a rest, and then they were going to infiltrate this mine area that had been warded by presumably this group that they've been tracking. Grace managed to get them through the ward, and there they discovered that there was a minefield just laid out in front of them. And consequently, about 2 seconds after discovering the minefield, one of our other characters, Triss, grabbed Grace and ran straight through the minefield. You know, who knows what was happening.
You know,
there,
I feel like the intention was like, you know, to carry and keep her safe, but part of me is just like, holds her like a shield in front of her as she runs through.
But they made it through, only to discover that there were these magical turrets that were activated by something. They're not sure, but given the fact that there were explosions and they were not subtle about their approach to the cave, maybe that has something to do with it. A fight ensued with these turrets, and we ended the session with a beautiful tag team combo that destroyed the second of the two turrets. And that is where we find ourselves in a moment.
I didn't realize we were.
We also did a bunch of healing.
We did do a bunch of healing.
Well, no, that happened like within the same like second as there has not really been. You have not rested. You have not talked. Literally, the battle ended, and that was it. That's where we left off. So,
Nyx, I don't know if you guys have ever played the game Worms, but that's kind of how he feels. We did. It's a great game about blowing up worms with each other, but you end up bouncing all around and get effed up. And so, yeah, he is going to look beyond and say, well, we aren't sneaking up on anyone.
I would agree.
Pull my finger out of my ear. Unless they're deaf already. Oh my god.
I will fly over next to Nyx
mhm.
and land there, let him kind of nuzzle.
Okay, I'll stick out my arm.
He lowers down a little bit lower, the giant eagle.
Oh, okay. I don't speak whatever you're doing, so... Do you have fleas? I don't know.
He flaps his wings again.
Please just like pour out.
He did have fleas. He's expelled the fleas.
Now you have these.
Do you want to go look ahead? I want you.
He flies over the landmines and lands on the other side, then flies back.
Yeah, I think that's what he was going to do right before,
Well, I think Nick took the jumping route and is in the cave. You guys are all in the cave past the land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Currently. My bad. I thought you were still outside because you were fighting the...
No, they were smart and took a jumping route and then jumped onto a turret and then...
Yeah.
Cut it.
Things happened.
Yeah.
Grace looks like she's about to have a mental breakdown.
Currently, the group of you have all gathered, and you're standing in like the rubble and dust of the leftover turrets.
All right.
I will walk over and like take Grace's hand. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your hair looks kind of like mine. Which is just like...
No, because she got licked by Kavoon and got frozen in place, remember?
Look.
And I tried to fix it, but I'm like, mm-hmm.
Oh, and Tristan's doing that thing where she walks in place again. It's always so weird.
Is it just like one side that's sticking up on Grace?
Yeah. It's currently just like this chunk of hair that's just kind of...
That's great.
Well, if they know we're like on our way anyway, we might as well just finish this off.
Well, before we do that, I'm going to pull out my guitar or my lyre and do two things. I'm going to play a song, and I'm going to... It's going to be a rallying song. So you guys get a D6 rally die to use on...
It's a D8 now.
Oh, it is a D8 now! A D8 rally die, so you can use that on an action roll, reaction roll, damage roll, or clearing stress.
Nice. Thank you.
And then I'm going to also play a heartbreaking song, and we all can take a hope.
Thanks, because I'm out.
You're welcome.
As Grace just stands here in the middle of the rubble and starts putting on her own personal concert, Knots, you catch something at the corner of your eye, something shiny in the rubble. Something pretty.
The rubble of the turret.
Turrets.
I'll just, casually mosey over, take a look.
If Nut starts to walk into the landmines, I will grab her with my talons.
No, this is within the cave. The landmines were outside the cave, so you guys fought inside the cave. So they're just going into the rubble of the turrets inside the cave.
Okay.
You look over and you see this shimmering blue light that seems to be sparking out from underneath some of the rocks and stone that has crumbled on top of each other. You can't see what it is. You can just see the light coming out of the stone.
Is it just reflecting or is it shining?
It's there's a light, something in there is creating the light. Something under the rubble is creating the light.
Nix.
Yes, Knots.
Grace is busy. Could you look at this? I put my hands in my pockets so I don't pick it up.
I look at it. What is?
You see the same thing. It's just under the rubble. You can see a shining, shimmering, sparking blue light that's coming out from under the rubble. There's something under there that is creating this light.
Oh, that looks like a sparking blue light to me.
Yeah, I was gonna touch it, but I've been figuring out lately that I shouldn't just touch all the things when I haven't had adult supervision first. And you're close enough to an adult. Could you supervise?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'll pull my hands out and spit in my palms and rub them together and start moving bits of the turret away.
Yeah, it's not Nyx put it's small pieces of rubble. None of this is large pieces of rubble. You start shifting the rock, and you find two pieces. They look like they got shattered off of a circular thing. There's these two shards, these sharp, glowing, sparking, crackling pieces of magic that are just sitting there. They look like they got broken off of something.
I look at Nyx. Oh shit. And I go over and I see if I can open my box and get my freaking castles and centaurs game back out.
Give me a roll for your box.
What am I rolling for it?
I think it's a D12. Let me double check. It should also say on your box of stuff, description in the box of many goods. Yeah, roll a D12.
That is a 4.
Yeah, you open it up and your castles and centaurs stuff is in the box.
Ah, finally. And I get my stuff and I put it in my bag and I huck the box down the tunnel.
Down the tunnel?
Not far, just away from me. I'm just I don't want this.
Okay, well, you guys are in a big cave area. You guys haven't gone
Totally
gone
fair.
or
Yeah.
seen all the way to the back, so you just kind of chuck it a little bit away. You guys see him toss this magic box just out of the way.
Oh, I get back up, pick up the box, walk over to Nyx. Hey, would you like this? It's super useful. I loved it so much I thought you should have it.
No.
Yeah, I don't want it either, and I'm going to throw it. Just throw it in the middle here, leave it. I don't care. It ate my game. Granted, I got my game back, but fuck that box.
Oh.
A story remembering what we were told will return to normal form and walk over to it.
Sure.
Grace, do you want it?
You can pick it up.
Is this like towards the end of me playing?
I mean, it can be. I mean, you guys have now firmly ignored the glowing, sparking shards that are on the ground.
Not yet.
I mean, Nyx might be doing something with that, but I derailed.
I'm gonna look at the box and be like, "Oh, I'm good. You can keep that." And then put my lyre away and head over to the shards.
Yeah, I mean, it's all in the same, like, general vicinity. It's not like you're walking across the entire cave because you guys gathered right where you destroyed the turrets. So you're all within, like, 15 feet of each other throughout this whole thing.
I'll just pick one up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You pick up the shard, and as you pick it up, you feel this, like, sparking that, like, kind of tickles your hands as you pick it up, and, like, the blue light that's in it, like, shifts kind of erratically as you pick it up. But after that, like, moment, it kind of settles a little bit, and you look at it, and you're holding it. Give me a spellcast roll.
I got 15 with hope.
Okay, you can take that hope. This was probably, these pieces were probably broken off of the power source of the turret, and are now in their cracked and, like, glass shard form. Unstable, but that doesn't mean that they can't be used. You just get the idea that if you chucked this or threw it against something or at something, it would.
Cool. I'm going to just stand there, completely emotionless.
Then throw it at the group. The big bad evil guy has been revealed.
He's just gonna. Yeah, I think I want to throw this at whatever caused this thing to shoot at me. That's my plan.
I think that's a great plan.
So Nyx is currently holding one of the shards. There's still another shard on the ground.
I'll pick up the other one, or I'll inspect it.
As you pick it up, you feel and see the same, like, erratic shift within the shard. If you want to try and figure out exactly what it is, you can give me a knowledge roll.
Sure. I critted! No, wait, that's a 7. Never mind.
Lies. All the lies.
Listen. Tell me that doesn't look like a 1.
I can't tell what it is.
I can't tell what it is either.
It's a 7. That is a 10 with hope.
You could take the hope. Yeah, you're not sure exactly what it is, other than getting the same idea that Nyx did, that if it is disturbed in some way, like it shattering against something or someone, it would probably have an explosive effect.
So we just found Molotov cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could shoot it from a distance, maybe, and use it to, like, get through stuff.
Oh, like set it down and then leave it there and then go over and shoot it from there? I like that. Yeah. That seems less... Maybe. Jeremy likes that because it seems less dangerous to us.
Was there...
And you guys realize that the position of the two of them, these two shards, likely came from the same power source. And you fought 2 turrets.
I'm going to throw them both I'm gonna steal it from Grace and throw them both at the other turret.
Right, yeah, that's a good plan.
Blow them all up.
So we could also surprise attack people with those.
Not anymore.
Looking at the other turret, do we see those same types of power sources kind of shining?
Give me an instinct roll.
Okay.
Nix is standing there for the first time ever. He smiles slightly and he says, Nix Jenkins. And just throws them.
That'd be a 16 with hope.
Right, you can take that hope. Yeah, you move over to where the other turret is, and this turret is more intact than the other one. But as you go over and you start looking through, you do find a glowing blue shimmering light that you follow, and you see what is likely closer to the form that the power source normally takes, and you see like what looks like a cracked orb that like is missing, like a quarter of it has been like chunked out, and you have like 3/4 of a cracked orb that is glowing and sparking and shimmering in the same way that the two shards were.
I glance over him all like, yeah, that's Hex Tech. It's from like some novel that I read. Something about leagues and legends or something. I don't know. It's dangerous
Isn't
stuff.
there a guy named like Leroy in there?
Well, here, why don't you take it then? You seem to know about it.
Oh no, that's dangerous stuff. I don't want to have anything to do with that.
I'll take the explosives.
All right. Not so useful to me. I'm usually not able to throw stuff.
Just be careful. If it starts like corrupting your flesh, it's too late. You're already gone.
Guys, Grace has a strength of -1.
You're not going to be throwing it far.
Nope.
Hopefully it's accurate, though.
Just falls behind her.
And you get the idea that because it's cracked and the way that the magic sparks and shifts as you hold it and pass it around, it is likely just as unstable as the shards that you found, but given that there is more power in it as it is more formed, it will likely be a bigger explosion.
Nice. I'll take them all. Put them all in
Actually,
the bag.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna suggest
Jingle 'em
Trish
around
take
in
some
there.
too.
Put them all in the same bag.
Yeah, put them in the same
and
bag.
then all I
You gotta
have
shine
to
'em
do
up
is
first,
smack Nick.
like a bowling ball.
Right. Yep, that's it. Exactly. It's like a bag of quarters, except a bag of dynamite.
We're like, all right, team huddles. Everybody comes in. I slap you on the butt, but it happens to be right where the bag is, and boom.
You know, it'd be really fun. I know that he said he wouldn't take it, but if a stoy like airdrops them.
I think it's a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
So yes,
mean,
you have
you
two
can choose
shards
not to
and
take
one
it.
like 3/4 of an orb.
Nice.
Do they look like they fit together?
No.
Our
Okay.
powers combined form really big bomb.
Captain Bomb. So it's been a while, like at least a few minutes. Do you think they maybe forgot we're here? We could still sneak
No.
up on them?
No.
Probably not.
We could still try sneaking, but they probably know we're here.
Mm.
Why don't you just say, we're leaving? Real loud.
Don't do it.
I clap a hand over Nut's mouth. Do not.
Nyx will go face death in the face and start heading towards the cave of
Why don't
the...
we check those boxes back here before we move on?
Yeah,
Because
there might be some
those
place for
could
us.
equally be as booby-trapped as everything else.
Or as lucrative.
Am I sensing anything magical within 30 feet?
Give me a spellcast roll.
Fuck no.
But was that with fear or hope?
10 with fear.
Gotta
I knew the question
reload the
was
fear
coming, Carly.
train.
What was the total?
It was 10 with fear.
Okay. Yeah, no, there is so much like density of magic since you cross that minefield between the enchantments and everything else that you are unable to like pick out any specific sources. It's almost as if because of the enchanting or whatever else was happening here, even the very air is infused with magic. So it's making your senses go a little haywire.
I'm
As
also
you take a
pretty
stress.
stressed.
As
Okay.
you take a stress from trying to
My nose
find
just
any
starts
kind
bleeding.
of distinctions between
You
I'm just
okay,
gonna-
Maggie? Are you okay, Grace?
magic.
Who's Maggie?
As a little
You
bit of
just
blood
see me
starts trickling out of
concentrating-
Stoy's
yeah.
nose.
I'm concentrating so hard
I think
don't
they know
even
we're
notice
here.
the blood. Ah! Oh no.
Alarm!
Alarm! Alarm!
Whoop whoop. That's the sound of the police. But I don't even notice that there's blood trickling down. I'm just so focused on what's happening and like trying to find stuff. And then when you ask me if I'm okay, I go, what?
Oh, yeah, you got a little blood there.
Ah, that sucks.
Hey, you
We
all
got
sit
a few
down.
minutes before
Yeah.
we need to go. Yeah.
I'm just gonna take a quick look at these containers over here.
Here, Grace, have a seat here.
Okay.
So in this space, just as a refresher, the first like 20-25 feet or so in like from the cave mouth like into the cave are pretty sparse. There's not like that's where like the turrets came out of the walls on either side, and that's kind of where all this crumbling rock that's left over from them is. But as you move further into the cave, there's like an encampment that's set up. There are like some tents, temporary shelters, things like that, and there are a bunch of crates. There are some that are like lined up against the back wall to the left. And then there is like smaller crates that are you can see like inside like the tents and stuff, but the larger crates are the ones that are packed to the left.
Does it appear like there is the accommodations that have been set up in here are for 3 people or
Oh,
more?
no,
More people.
More people. And you remember when you initially met these people,
Right.
it was a big group.
So I'm thinking those 3 that we've been following, outside of time travel or weird time loops that we might have been stuck in, those 3 people we've been following were just joining the rest of these schmucks that were already here. So we've got, instead of just one murder to do, we've got probably multiple murders to do.
Well, it sounds like you guys have been tracking this one that you assumed was their leader, right?
That was our assumption, right?
Yes. There was the guy
Yes.
that seemed to be leading all of the people at the Wailing City that you were following that escaped with 2 other people from the Wailing City. And you fought the assassin and the mage, which were the 2 other people that you recognized in the meeting hall. But you've not caught sight of the presumed leader that escaped the Wailing City.
What if, I mean, they had to have heard those explosions, so what if one of us just like makes noises like, "Oh, we're dying. Oh, all my friends, they're dead. How could you? I have 1 hit point left. How will I make it?" And then we set an ambush for them. Maybe like we set those crystals right over by where we think they're going to come from, and then when they come through there, we'll just be like, pew 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 pew, and shoot the crystals and watch them explode.
That sounds like a deception check. Do
It
we
also
want
sounds
someone?
like not the way anyone talks. Who's like, I only have 1 hit point.
I'm just trying to make sure you understand what I'm talking about. Just because I'm making reference to castles and centaurs, you don't need to mock me for it.
But also, what if they're listening to us right now?
I hold up my finger.
Well, I think this
I'm
is
sure they'll
something
hear
that they're
that.
coming back here. They may have just.
Oh, they could have magic items that can listen to us, though.
No, I meant like, assuming that they're even bothering to come back here, they may not even care.
I give
True.
the whole cavern a good once over, twice over, just in case anyone's watching.
Well, I need a few minutes to help Grace out. If you're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we take a short rest?
I think we should set a trap for them in case they come through their opening. There is just the one opening on the other side, right?
Well, there's the big cave
Where
entrance
Right.
that you guys came through that's like 40 feet across. You guys have not seen to the back of this
Gotcha.
encampment that you've seen yet. You've not gone that far back yet. So you don't know if there's any tunnels or how many or how far this cave extends. As you guys are still at like the beginning edges of the encampment.
Or, hear me out. We could just start lobbing those crystals off in like that direction and see if they hit anything.
Yeah, but that may cave in the whole place.
Yeah.
And I'm not really seeing the problem with that.
We're in it!
I mean, we would run, obviously, but they would still be in it.
They left, from what I understood, days ago, right? Early?
Well, you guys
What the
were
people had told
about like a day and a half behind them at your last information check, and you guys took a long rest. So if they kept moving, it could be as much as 2 days or more now, because you guys have spent some time up here at this facility. But you don't know how long they spent up here before they left.
Sure.
So
We don't also know, like, how far they went. They could have just gone 100 feet around the corner and have a new camp. You know, I mean, it doesn't mean that they're 2 days travel away. It just means that they've been gone for 2 days. We can take a short rest, but I think until we know more information.
Yeah, why don't you let me help you a little bit? I don't want to. If we don't have to wait here an hour.
I am going to do my gift to tracking over. I'm going to walk to the tents and just see if they do seem to go back further into the cave, or if they like left the cave completely and walked off somewhere else.
Sure, give me an agility roll.
While he's doing that, I'm going to spin a stress and turn into a legendary calico and hop in Grace's lap.
21, 25 with fear.
You start going through like the tent side of the encampment, which is the right side, and you start weaving through the tents, and you pretty quickly notice that the size of the encampment extends pretty far back. Like, it looks like this cave, while it shallows in like a little bit at the beginning of the cave, extends wide pretty pretty deep back into this mountain. It just sloped down a little bit, but not like in a super noticeable way. And you notice that like the tents that spread out, that this was not a small operation. Given the amount of tents that were set up, they likely had more people than even just the people that you guys met at the Whaling City, which was a large amount of people that were essentially sent to ambush you and you. But the biggest thing that you notice as you start wandering through this like tent city that is inside this cave is that it looks and feels recently like abandoned, as if the tent city has not been used in a while.
Okay.
There's a lot of tracks and just like scrapings in like the dirt and just movement that show probably this encampment hasn't been used in a month, maybe more. You find indications of like what looks like, and you can presume was the group of people packing up to go to the Whaling City. But you also find indications of people moving further back into the caves. You look around and you're pretty certain that this space has not been utilized as a resting area and encampment in a while.
Like, are there fire pits or anything?
Yeah, there's like ones that had been placed. It looked like this was a pretty like a fairly permanent encampment.
Yeah.
As permanent as a temporary encampment is, and did get a lot of use, but the amount of like just like dust and wear tells you that it has not been used in.
As I move through, I just want to like, reach out and make sure none of the fire pits have heat. Just make sure there wasn't like some lingering that they're like then scurrying off to hide. And while I'm there, I'll go ahead and just take a look at, not in, but like look at the various containers just to see if there's anything that marks what they might be. I very much want to touch them, but I'm not going to.
Okay, as you move through,
Who are you and what did you do if not?
none of the fire pits seem to indicate any kind of warmth. And a lot of the like containers that are left in like the encampment area where like the tents and stuff are empty. It looks like it was storage for something, but they've taken it. What happens though is you move deeper and deeper into these tents. You're looking in one of the containers, and you see a flicker of like a shadow in the corner of your eye, like a shadow moved.
So Kavun and I have like our little signals that we do, and I'm going to start whistling a little tune, and that's the be aware. And so sitting back further with everyone, kind of like licking his paws, Kavun's head picks up and his ears turn and start like twitching, listening, doing radar. If you all notice that, that's up to you. And then he'll slowly get up and start like prowling.
As you not close the empty container that you were looking at and continue kind of moving through the space, another shadow at the corner of your other eye. But every time you look, like to engage in the sight fully, there's nothing there.
I reach down and like uncork my jar of fireflies. And I'm just waiting
you reach
for...
down and uncork the fireflies. Like the corner of like the bottom of your eye. That's where your shadow moved. You take a stress.
All right, that's some weird shit. And I'm going to stab the shadow that's at my feet.
Sure. Give me an attack roll.
Let's see. Where did my other D12 go? There we go. All right. 18 plus 4 is 22 with hope.
You could take that hope. You stab down into your own shadow. And it's just a shadow. But you're looking, and there's another movement. Take another
all right, Kaboom, hell yeah.
stress for me.
You say take a stress?
Yes, take a stress for me. All of you hear Nods yell, Kavoon, hurry up. It just like kind of echoes across the space.
And then Kavoon stops like prowling and just like bounds through, like leaping over tents and stuff to get there.
Quick question. Ryan, you had used the dark vision thing last time?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has this been since he started, or since not started?
I made like 20 minutes, half hour since you guys like pushed. It took a while for Grace to get you guys through the barrier, but since you've been on this other side of the barrier, it's been like a half hour.
Yeah, I meant since Nod started doing the tracking.
Knots has been wandering around for about 10-15 minutes by themselves through the tents.
All right. Well, the calico will get up out of Maggie's lap and stretch.
Who is Maggie?
Sorry.
Who is this Maggie you speak of?
We have the name saved over there, and I just keep seeing it, and the brain says it instead. We'll get up out of Grace's laps and follow Kavoon. Grace will heal 5 stress, though. Assuming you need that much.
That was the exact number I had.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the calico will pounce off, following Kavoon.
Yeah. As Kavoon makes it over towards you, as soon as Kavoon gets up next to you, shadows aren't moving anymore. And there's a cat. There's a smaller cat following behind Kavoon.
Kavoon, there's something here. I think, maybe. Could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go after Estoy.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough following Kavoon for all of you to gather up besides Knots, while Knots is just kind of looking around like a crazy person.
Can I check to see if something happened to Knots?
I mean,
like
check how? What are you doing?
Like, is there a magical effect on Knots right now?
You can give me a knowledge roll.
Because those have gone so well for me. We all have advantage, right?
You do have an advantage.
Well, a single advantage.
Yeah. Yes. It's a D6?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, cool. 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 So I rolled with hope. That's the good part. 13.
Could be worse.
No, there doesn't.
No, sorry. That's a 9, not a 6.
So 16?
Yes.
There doesn't seem to be any lingering magic on Knots. Knots seems to be looking around in lots of different spaces, but there's nothing like that seems to be like a lingering signature on them. As you are like looking closely at Knots and like focusing in and trying to see what is happening, Grace, you catch out of the corner of your eye a shadow move. And as you turn to look at it, there's nothing there.
I say loud enough for the group to hear, but like try to keep it as low as possible. I think I know what Knots is seeing. I think the same shadows from the city are back. Or something similar, like the shadows from the city.
What if they got like infected with it and they brought it with them?
I think they did bring that with them, but not in the way you think.
Like in a hamper or something?
I just gently pat Knott's head and take out my sight.
I need everyone, and I'll have Nyx do it when they come back, to make a presence reaction roll for me, please.
Oh yeah, I'm good at those!
I am going to go ahead and use one of my advantages.
Yeah, me too, because I suck at these.
Right?
Look, it's reaction. 16.
Oh, and I was all like, oh yeah, I rolled with hope. Not that it mattered.
Aww.
That is a 15.
I need to roll something.
Yes, a presence reaction roll, please.
Okey-dokey. I got 16.
15.
15. What did you get, Grace?
18!
Nice.
Great. All of you, everyone in the group, is seeing these shadows, and not the same shadows. You guys are all never looking in the same direction when you try to catch it. So as you guys are all looking around and trying to catch the shadows, everyone is going to take a stress. As it feels like you're being surrounded by something.
I am going to start lighting any of the fire pits that might have wood left in them. Is there any like wood that might be stacked that they left behind for, the fire pits?
Yeah, there's some small stacks of wood that they didn't like carry with them that are near some of the fire pits.
I'll start lighting fires.
I'm gonna summon a midnight spirit.
Oh, you're gonna make it worse.
Now there's more shadows. Kill him with fire.
Kill it with
This one's friendly.
Just to test if this is a visual thing or a mental thing, Stoy's going to turn into a bat and see if he can detect anything physical actually moving out there, and if.
Sure. Give me an instinct roll.
Okay. Would advantage on locate help with this?
Yeah, you can take advantage on locate.
Well, it is with fear, unfortunately. That would be 21, though.
As you turn into a bat and no longer see with your eyes, and you press outwards, catching sight of the tents and the crates, and eventually feeling as the cave extends further back before shunting off into two fairly large tunnels, the back about like 80 feet back from where you are, and you press this other sight, this sight that is not sight, out. It's weird. There's nothing physical moving, and yet you're still seeing that sensation of a shadow moving at the corner of your eye as you take another stress. As this impossible thing. How you see shadows when you're not seeing with your eyes. But it's happening. Is there anything Grace or Nyx would like to do?
I have my Midnight Spirit up, and I'm gonna have it kind of like, I guess, be next to Nyx, and I'm gonna direct it to follow Nyx's direction. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I think Nyx is going to pull out. I'll spend a hope and pull something from my wandering pack, from my nomadic pack. I think something to help kind of calm his nerves and kind of steal him. So maybe just even like a incense, just to kind of like help him center himself a little bit and kind of remain in the present and like slow his breathing and you know, just fortify himself for
Sure.
that. Other than that,
Give me a presence roll with advantage.
okay, I will do that. That is a 19 with fear.
Okay. You take out this incense and you light it and it starts burning and the scent starts to fill your nose and brush through you and push back, and you can almost feel the scent, this familiar scent, pushing the shadows away, and you take a deeper breath, and you realize there's a scent under the scent that you know from this incense. This small, almost unnoticeable tang, this acidity on the air, and you realize that these shadows that you're seeing are not real. The shadows you're seeing are an effect, maybe a hallucination of something you're inhaling.
Nyx will take like a piece of kind of cloth from kind of his pack and put it over his nose and mouth, and then call out to the others. It's something in the air. We're breathing something
Right?
And try and kind of filter it as best you can. Pour water on the rag as well to make it wet.
Yeah, absolutely. All of you hear Nyx say this, so you have a quick moment. I'm gonna have you all make agility rolls to try and negate this effect. Tell me how you're doing it, and tell me what your role is.
I'm going to put a cloth over my mouth. I'm going to follow Nix's direction and put a cloth over my mouth and nose.
Okay, give me an agility roll, please.
That's an 8.
With
Help.
Okay, so you can take that help. It takes you longer than you wanted as you fumble to rip or find a piece of cloth to put over your mouth. So you will just have a regular presence roll on your next reaction roll. Knots, what are you doing?
So I reach into my nomadic pack, and back when I left my village with Kavoon and I thought maybe we were going to go be bandits or something, I made disguises for both of us. And so I have these like masks that are in there. And so I pull them out and I put one on myself and one on Kavoon. That is a 19 with hope.
Great, take that hope.
Yeah.
You quickly pull out, almost as if you were prepared, as if you were ready to be a bandit today. It's sitting right at the top of your pack.
I'm ready to be a bandit every day.
And you quickly get your masks on. Both you and Kavoon will have advantage on your next presence reaction. Stoy.
Yep, Astoya will return to normal form, and we'll try to quickly pull something out of his pack to put together a makeshift mask as well. He's not really prepared for this type of thing normally, but he'll get the like one of his old blankets out and try to make like a little fur mask over the top of his face.
What was your agility roll?
23 with hope.
Nice.
Yeah, you quickly, in the blink of an eye, shift back to yourself and manage to like pull like a piece of clothing over your nose and are filtering. You will have advantage on your next presence reaction roll. Triss, meanwhile, has this long like kind of cloaked scarf that sits around her, and she's just trying to shift it up over her mouth as she rolls. That's not Triss. That's Triss. She rolled an 18 with fear. So she manages to quickly get the scarf over her nose and will also have advantage on her next presence reaction roll. So everyone except for Grace will have advantage on this presence reaction.
We should move too, so we're not just standing here in this stuff.
Yes, we can do that.
Yeah.
Next, that'll be the next portion after you guys' reactions.
Yeah. Estoy's just saying it, just in general.
Nice.
I'm going to use a prayer die. And I got 19.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend a hope. Man, I'm trying to think if any of these would apply to that. What's that? Just trying to figure it out and gird myself from this, if possible.
Yeah, sure.
Is that you suck your presence rolls? Well, that at least got it to a 20.
Okay. Knots.
That's at 21. with hope.
There's no hope or fear. It's a reaction roll.
Never mind.
And Grace.
I got an 11.
All right. Both Grace and Triss fail. As the shadows seem to get closer and closer, and both Triss and Grace are now feeling like the brushes of these shadows against their skin as it flicks in the corner of their eyes. Both Triss and Grace are going to take a hit point. Everyone else is going to take a stress.
With the added light from the fires, or fire, however many I got to, does it appear that this is coming from anything? Like what we might be breathing in to cause this?
Give me an instinct roll.
Mm, 24 with fear.
A 24. You start glancing around, having a little more light with the fires that you've set burning, and you look up and you see this like fungal mushroom, but like it's got this glowing arcane kind of blue going through it that you couldn't see before, as your sight wouldn't extend up that far, but with the light, the firelight, you catch sight of it, and you notice a section that is like a perfect circle that's like missing out of this like fungal forest that's at the top of the cave. And it looks like there was like a device or something that maybe popped or set off that dispersed that section of spores or mushrooms or whatever into.
Astoy, it's your people. Can't you tell them to stop?
That's not fungal. I mean, the fungus, yes, but...
No, I don't know the difference. Just make them stop.
I can't. Let's just move.
Do I understand that I'm
as you're looking up, you notice the last thing that you notice as you're looking up are these small, black, a little bit of glowing blue devices that are implanted in a couple different areas in the remaining fungus forest up above.
Knots would have no idea what any of that means.
Fair. It's up to you. You just notice the little devices.
I will point them out, but then I will say, we should get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get on Kavoon's back, take Grace's hand, and then hurriedly walk in whichever direction we're going to go. I'm going to leave that up to you all. Are we going in the tunnels in the back or out the front?
I'm high as fuck. I don't know.
There are 2 tunnels back there, I saw.
Let's go in, because going out is dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Lame.
I'm going to drag Grace towards
Great. With that, if you guys are
The
all
right
moving
tunnel.
to try and get to the back of the cave, I mean, you're still like 80 feet away from the back of the cave. You're like in the middle, you're about 80 feet away before it splits into two larger tunnels. So I'm going to need a group agility check. So I need you guys to pick one person to lead the roll, and everyone else will.
Not I, sir.
I'm at a 4.
Yeah.
But you're leading. You grabbed and led,
And I have one more advantage from chat. So
Nice.
Can I spend a stress and use my primal origin thing to add +2 to his roll?
No, see, in a group roll, everyone rolls, and how they do can add or subtract to his roll. So you could do it for your roll that is potentially boosting or hurting his roll. But this is not a situation where you can...
roll well, please.
Well, then I'm gonna spend a stress and do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Triss spend hope to use one of her experiences.
I'm spending a hope to use Protect a Herd and try to keep an eye out. Like, if I see the pods above, dropping stuff down or whatever, I'll be kind of pointed out.
Sure.
I'm going to spend a hope and use Tracker, or like trying to find the way back there to like the most effective way.
Sure.
Boop. That'll help.
All right. Grace, what did you roll?
I rolled a 17.
Okay. Jay, what did Asari roll?
22.
Okay. Nyx?
I rolled a 12.
Okay. And Triss rolled a 21, which makes it a +4 to your roll.
Yeah, it's a 24.
With hope or fear? Yours is still with hope or fear.
That is with hope, but not by much. But it
Great.
doesn't matter if it's by much.
Yeah. Quickly leading the groups through this tent city, all of you racing to get to the back, to get out of this, this kill box. You guys make it to where the tunnel splits. However, you are going to still have to make one more presence reaction roll before you are out of this gas.
Oh, I was so happy for a moment there. Thought I had a critical.
Tell me about it. That's happened to me twice.
Everybody has advantage on this because you have your cloths on your mouth.
I'm also gonna spend a stress for +2.
Sure.
Did you
Guys,
really?
I actually critted this time!
I was about to say.
I triple checked before I looked up. I was like, is that? Yes.
Huzzah.
Okay, so Grace critted, Knots.
That is a 20 after the advantage, thankfully.
Great.
Oh,
Astoy.
16.
Nyx.
19.
Okay, and I critted for Triss.
Nice.
Nice.
So everybody, except for Astoy, is going to take a stress. Astoy, you are going to take a hit point.
Okay.
As the shadows continue to brush against you guys and catch the corner of your eyes, and they seem to be solidifying into something. Even though you know it's not real, it's there, and you can see it moving, touching you. But you've reached a fork in the road. 2 large tunnels at the back of this cave peel off, one to the left, one to the right.
I rolled randomly, I went right.
Great.
I was in a hurry.
Knots, you start moving to the right. The second that you enter the tunnel, you feel that now familiar ward magic.
Yeah, I'll pull up so that Kaboon stops rather quickly, and I'll say, fuck. There's
sure.
more of those magic things.
Give me an agility reaction roll.
Sorry, 11 and 8 is 19 plus 4 is 23.
Yeah, with a 23, you feel like as you pull up on Kavoon, you feel yourself stop like millimeters before that like ward, as if you take one tilt forward and you're going to be crossing that.
I see one of my hairs start to head down that way. I'm like, no. I'm moving. Geez, these guys weren't messing around.
Man, that cave back there, that was, I don't know.
There must be some kind of beast in here, dragon or something. It just roared. Getting a little scared.
I look at Kavoon as he farted.
Right.
Well, I think we have to keep moving. If we linger here, we may just be inhaling
What if...
more.
Grace, do you want to see if you can do anything about this?
Sure.
I mean, I can help you. I'll just think very hard. Oh, Grace.
Do I know if I can do anything to like clear?
Give me a knowledge roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that
she's-
with help from Knots?
No, this is you as Grace figuring out. Unfortunately, Knots cannot help make connections in your own brain.
While she's doing
That's
that, Zoe's trying to clear his head and get his center back, trying to use Call of the Brave while we're sitting here.
That's a dirty 20 with fear.
Dirty 20 with fear. Yeah, you still feel the like lingering brushes of shadow against your arms, the back of your neck, as you try to focus in on the presence of this ward. And it's familiar. It's made of a similar structure as these other two wards that you've attempted to break through. And you quickly realize there's two options. You can try to pull a hole and go through the ward unnoticed, but this takes time. And given the fact that you are still feeling the shadows, you feel that time you might not have, as there's still that lingering poisonous, hallucinogenic, whatever this effect is, happening on you. But you also think there's a second option, but it's not an option that's going to have you go unnoticed. So technically there's three options. The first option is you run through, you activate whatever the ward does. I feel like that's fairly obvious. The second one is the one I presented. The third option is you think you might be able to overpower and shatter the ward, which would let whoever made the ward know that the ward is down, but there's a good chance that it might not activate whatever the ward activates if you do that. And that could be like...
While Grace is thinking about this, Kavoon does go over and give Astoy a big lick to help clear his head.
Stoy will gently reach out and pat the side of Kaboon's head. Thanks. I needed that.
I'm going to explain the options to the group. And I'm like, none of this is great, but our best option is probably me trying to overpower it.
They know we're coming, and we already set off the other wards and stuff.
That's true. What if this isn't the right way, though? Because I did just kind of, like, in the heat of the moment, say go this way. Should we check the other tunnel?
I think that they'd have... I mean, we can, but I think we don't have a lot of time right now.
As you say that, I need presence reaction rolls from everyone in the group. At advantage, as you still have your masks.
28.
Nice.
13.
Sorry, 28. What was Nick's?
13.
Those with advantage?
Yep.
Eee.
21,
22.
sadly.
21, and what did you get, Grace?
26. Oh, sorry, 27.
Okay.
I was looking at knowledge, not presence.
So if you rolled above a 20, you take a stress.
Damn.
As the gases are still affecting you. Triss and Nyx, who did not roll a 20, will both take a hit point.
I'm just going to try to overpower it.
And just clarify, because you rolled pretty well, it's overpowering the ward. You don't have to do it by yourself. Other people in your group have magic, so you don't have to do it alone to overload the ward.
Would a
Can-
sorry, the
Yeah, go for it.
would an arcane prism help you?
In this case, the arcane prism, because of the effect of magic that it has, not really. This is more about how much magic you can push into it
Totally.
versus like control of your magic.
I think everyone in the group has magic, right? A little bit, at least.
Does Triss have magic now?
Yeah, she's a cleric. Or Sarah.
Seraph.
Yeah.
Sarah.
Multi-class. Yes, everybody has magic. I will clarify. If you guys want to, because what essentially will happen is you will roll your damage for your magic, and you want to reach a certain threshold. People are going to have to, if people want to join in, it'll be essentially like doing a tag team roll.
Sure.
It'll be a 3 hope cost to join in to combine your magic damage to it. However, anybody that can spend it can do it. There's not a limit of just 2 people. All of you can do it if you have the 3 hope to spend to do it.
So, clarification. I spend the 3 hope as well?
No, whoever is leading does not have to spend the 3 hope. Anybody else joining has to spend the 3 hope.
I'll spend 3 to assist.
Okay.
And,
I will look like I want to assist, but won't.
Yeah,
I could say, hey, not.
Let me do Triss's thing, because she would do this. So let me do Triss's thing. She would look over at Knots and see you and your want to help, and she would just give you like a pat on the back and say, "We're gonna do this as a group." And she's gonna use her soldier's bond and give her 3 hope and you 3 hope.
Oh, 3 hope.
So that, yeah.
Wow.
She can do it once per long rest. So she's giving both herself and Knots 3 hopes so they can both join.
I look up
as
at
well.
Triss. My eyes get even bigger, and little stars appear in them.
And then he chooses not.
Right. And then I'm like, cool, I'm out. Laters. Then I will spend that 3 hope.
So will Triss.
Sweet.
And so with that, everybody can choose a magic-based damage thing.
So, question for the group.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to try to do the same kind of damage or like similar kind of damage? I know that we can't all do the
it
same.
It has to be magic. There's only 2 kinds of damage in Daggerheart. I mean, you can flavor it as
same kind of magic,
but magic damage is what's going to be effective here. You can choose whatever you want, whether it's a spell or a weapon or anything like that, but it has to be magic-based damage.
I'm gonna use telekinesis.
Can I use your staff?
It's a difference between 3d10 plus 9 or 3d12 plus 4.
I think he's asking if he can borrow your staff because he doesn't have any magic.
Well, isn't
abilities.
It attunement?
No, weapon. There's no attunement in Daggerheart.
Okay.
You can
then
pass things off.
I'm passing you my
easily.
sight. So that'll be 3d10 plus 9.
Okay.
And I also hand you a little bit of gold, like a handful of gold, to feed it.
Oh, that's all right.
Nom, 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 nom.
Great.
You can.
So, nobody has to make an attack roll. You're just gonna roll your damage of whatever you're doing in this moment to overload the ward.
How much is the increase per handful?
It's plus 1.
Plus one
One
die.
one
plus
dice.
Not
Right.
terrible.
On 1 dice.
All right.
Sorry, plus 1 dice.
All right. And it's 3d10 plus 9, you said?
40. It'd be 40-10 because I gave you some gold.
Oh, no, I got gold.
Okay, then, so it'd be 40-10.
Well, unless I spend a bag.
Yes. So it's 3d10 plus 9.
Okay.
Triss did 20 points of damage. Knots, how much did you do?
Knots did 20 points of damage.
Okay, so we're at 40. Nyx, how much did you do?
35.
Okay, 75. Stoy, how much did you do?
1 second, I need to re-roll these 2s. $80.
Damn.
Wow.
So-
he spent a bag of gold.
Right.
So,
Well, Story doesn't care about gold, so
so it's 155. And Grace.
I also rolled a 20.
Nice.
So it's 175. That's great. The DC was 150. It was essentially impossible to do by yourself. Yeah, all of you pull together and you guys just feel your magic kind of joining and combining in this like slow motion effect as you guys all push your magic into this invisible ward as you see these cracks of white appear in this like shimmering blue shield that appears before you before it shatters. And you guys can continue moving forward. And that feels like a really good place to go to break.
Woo!
Wunderbar.
Oh, here's your thing back.
Oh, thanks.
All right. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. See you then.
See you then.
Welcome
back.
Oh.
Yes, our group has just magically overloaded and shattered the ward that was in front of them. That leads into the right-hand tunnel. Would you like
Are you
to
sure y'all want to go this way? We could go back and check the other way.
Oh, let's keep going.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with that stuff again right now.
What if there's like a lot of really good stuff down the other way?
I don't care. Let's just keep moving. We have to go through that mist again, and I don't feel like it right now.
Yeah, that's
My
fair.
hands
But
are-
what if that's...
No, go forward.
What if there's something like a magical fountain down the other one that would like heal us of all that stress that it caused?
You can
What
let
if
us
there's
know.
a dragon that eats us before we get
What if it was a dragon that eats it? You know, of all of the ways to go, that's kind of always been the one I want.
as I'm wandering down the hall.
Right. I'm assuming this is a walk chalk.
As you guys start moving down the hall, I need, let's see, need instinct rolls. We'll make it reaction rolls from everyone.
Those are D8s. Not what I need.
Oh, good.
17.
15. 18.
14.
Okay, so knots. As the group moves down the tunnel, this situation reminds you Castles and Centaurs.
I am shocked. I am shocked that would ever be the case.
Shocked, I tell you. And you're thinking about it, and you're like, okay, there was a war, and then a minefield, a battle, and then the mist, and then another war. It's almost as if it's a dungeon crawl. Weird. So weird.
Yeah, that's strange.
But you're thinking about it, and you're like, and you guys have started walking down the hall, and you're like, when is a dungeon crawl in Castles and Centaurs just ever ended because of shattering a ward? And dungeon crawls often have a lot of traps.
Especially in my dungeon crawls.
There's
We would not have survived this long if I had designed this.
There's probably a trap, because while you shattered the ward and it probably didn't trigger the fight, doesn't mean there's not a trap. And as you think that, and you look around, and you see this tunnel that you're going through, you think about what you would put in here. And you know what you haven't dealt with so far in this dungeon crawl? Classic pit trap.
That and that big marble that rolls down and like runs you over and then blocks the door. I haven't seen one of those either. But oh right, pit trap. Watch out. There might be like some kind of trap over here.
As you say that, I need everyone to make agility reaction roll. Dots, you can have advantage on yours.
Wow. If I rolled the same number on my advantage die in one of my d12s, does that count as a crit? I did roll 12s, right? Yep, I rolled 12s.
Nuts.
I got an 8.
Okay. Grace.
I got a 14.
Okay. Nyx.
I got a. This is an agility, right?
Correct.
I got a 14.
Great. And Astoy.
23.
Okay. Astoy, you're probably in the back of the group as you see, as Dot says, "Oh wait, pit," and you just yes, as they fall, and you see Triss like step, and she's like leaning forward, and she is going to spend 2 of her hope dice or prayer dice to increase both Nyx and Grace's by 1, because she rolled a lot of 1s on her paradise today. As she grabs both of you, and you guys are just kind of like hanging over, looking at this pit that Knots is falling down, and you just kind of see that happen in front of you, Astoy.
Okay.
Knots, you fall a good 20 feet. And I need another. We'll call this a finesse reaction.
What about Kavoon? Because Knots was riding Kavoon.
So I would have gotten off Kavoon when we attacked the barrier, but if I mean, I'm assuming Kavoon was just kind of with you all. So if you want me to roll for Kavoon, as far as whether or not Kavoon follows me in.
No, Kavoon will not fall in with you. It's
Okay.
just not in this instance. So I need a finesse reaction roll from you. As you have fallen.
I mean, not as bad, but
spikes.
that's a 13.
You have a
I
rally
do.
die.
Just gonna go ahead and rally. I'm gonna rally right now. 13 plus 6 is 19.
That's good.
Okay.
Because you've fallen and you can see like approaching you because you've fallen like face forward.
Right.
These spikes. And you manage to like twist and contort yourself in a way that you like fall in between the spikes. So instead of getting impaled, you just take fall damage, which will be.
For a moment, a thought goes through my head. Nope, that was a spike.
Oh, I'm sorry, I rolled pretty high. 27 points
27
of physical damage as you slam into the ground, but you've managed to avoid impaling yourself.
My
And you
armor does
now
get like
see-
jacked up a bit as I spend a slot.
Knots slammed into the ground about 30 feet down this pit trap that has opened up that extends 20 feet in front of you.
I'm like
Fluttering
being
up.
held by.
You hear pit trap.
I'm being held by like my collar by Triss, right?
Yeah, yes. Both Nyx and Grace got like caught by Triss, and she pulls you guys like back, so you're just standing at the edge instead of hanging over it.
Can I see knots?
Yeah, you can see knots.
I'm gonna telekinesis her to the other side safely. Make spellcast roll against the target within far range. On a success, you can use your mind to lift and move it anywhere within far range of its.
Make me a spellcast roll. I will
Sweet.
set a DC. That's why I was checking if it automatically happens or not.
Oh, I almost critted. Oh, that would be so good. 18.
With
hope.
Okay, so you can take that hope. You manage to grasp onto Knots and start pulling her up out of the pit trap. You've not gotten her to the other side yet. Knots, you are currently floating in the air about like 10 feet above the top of the spikes. You haven't really reached the top of where like everyone else is standing yet, as you're just being like lifted.
Hey, if you could not drop me back on the spike, that'd be great.
So
Grace is very tempted to be like,
Ah.
no,
I
she
will
doesn't.
need-
She doesn't do that. She thinks about it.
No, but even still, this before you started joking, I need another spellcast roll.
Okay, hold on. This one's with fear. That's 16.
Okay. 16 with fear. You're as Knots says this, you continue pulling her like up until she's like level and start pushing her over towards the other side. And there's a second where your like magical grasp slips.
Eh.
And Knots, you like feel that slight like loosening of the grip that is holding you.
So glad I didn't eat before this.
Both of you are going to take a stress as you like panic in that like half a second before you reinitiate the grasp and set Knots over on the other side of the pit trap.
I just like, I'm not even standing up. I just like crawl forward and you can see me on the other side just like grasping dirt.
Sorry.
I'll look down in there, see if there's any other corpses that got
Sure,
impaled
give me
out
an-
there.
Give me an instinct roll.
16 with hope.
16 with hope. Yeah, you peer down into it, and there's enough, like, it's dark in here, but there's enough ambient light from the various things that you guys have on you that are glowing for you to see down. And you look in, and there are 2 other bodies that are like impaled on the spikes, but they don't look particularly recent bodies.
That's curious. That's kind of what I was curious about to know. There's any obvious like insignias, like or anything going on that we can tell?
Give me a knowledge check.
Okay. Hey Grace, you recognize any of these?
Do I?
14 with
I'm
fear.
waiting for that. You notice a couple, like, on one of the bodies, like a frayed, like, patch that is kind of half splattered with blood. And then on one of the body that looks even older, the oldest body, there is like an amulet around their neck. And as you say, do you recognize any of these bodies? Triss recognizes the symbols. Triss recognizes the amulet that is on the unrecognizable body. But now that you see her face and her looking at it, I mean, it's a big body. It's likely a giant kin. And you can just see as, like, her face kind of pales and goes a little slack as she notices the amulet and the size of its body in the trap. The patch that is, like, half covered in blood on the other body, you don't recognize it, Astoy, but as you, like, point it out to the rest of the group, Knots, Triss, and Grace would recognize this patch as the symbol of the Adventurers Guild that you guys did some work through in Shield Harbor, and where you got your original job that took you to the Whaling City. You recognize that symbol on the patch.
So this has been here a while, obviously.
Can we tell if... I know it's going to be really hard for us to tell this, but can we tell if the bodies were moved here or if they...
No, I mean, both of the bodies look like they fell down the pit and that killed them. They're, like, impaled on the spikes. So that's all you can get from the bodies. There's not really any other information about whether they were pushed or placed, or other than that it looks like they fell and were impaled.
Okay.
It also looks like they failed. Fell and impaled.
Funny.
I turn to the rest of the group, trying not to let, like, seeing these things get to me. And I say, do we want me to try to move everyone across?
Maybe can you pull up the bodies first? It seems like Triss might recognize something with that one.
Sure, but should we get everyone across safely and then pull up the bodies?
To be honest, I kind of like being on this side at the moment.
Okay. I will try to take the giant first.
From the other side, Knox is like, thanks.
is... I can math. 20 with hope. Yes.
20 with hope. Yeah, you start pulling the body, and it takes
Sorry,
a bit of a
19 with
tug to get it up off of the spikes. You get it up, and there's a bit of... I mean, it's pretty decayed at this point. And you pull it up and bring it over, and everybody kind of like scuttles back to leave a space. And you drop it down, and Triss like immediately goes to look at like the amulet and what's left of the body, and she says, I recognize them. They were they're part of one of the groups we sent out after the Heartstone. Got this far, and she takes the amulet off of the body and pockets it. Says, well, if we didn't have reason to continue before, I definitely do now.
How far is the jump?
It's a 20-foot gap.
So, I don't know about you, but that cavern really messed me up. I know we didn't want to rest earlier, but those spores, I mean, I'm not feeling so good. Do we want to try to rest here before moving on a little bit?
Nyx is going to use a prayer die to gain 4 hope, and then he's going to use 3 hope to ask the void if this is a safe place to rest. But is this a safe place to rest, or is there a better place close by?
Okay. You reach out and ask the question, and once again you get this shattered vision of multiple possibilities overlapping. You see your group crossing the gap, and you catch visions of knots falling. Wait, that already happened. Grace, Triss, each different person kind of falling before it catches, and you see all of you on the other side. And you see you guys pushing on, and then you see another one of those, another 2 of those guardians. Looks like you guys triggered another board and a fight broke out, and you see visions of 1, 2, all of you laid out, exhausted, dead, maybe. Crumbling bodies of the constructs. You catch a split from the other side of you guys staying. You see knots alone on the other side, eventually convincing Kavoon to try and make the jump. You see a vision of Kavoon making it, of them falling and dying, and all of this overlaps. And then you catch sight of you guys huddled here. And you catch sight of you guys resting for too long. Something comes up behind. Does it come up behind? And then you get the idea from all these overlapping visions that right now, right here, while not safe, and certainly not safe for a long rest, you might just have enough time and safety to recover before continuing forward, and that betters your chances.
Okay. Nyx will come out of his trance and kind of pass that on. We face some trials ahead, and this is a pretty good place to rest, but probably not for too long.
Yeah, I'm sure there's lots of traps ahead. It seems like they really didn't want to be followed into here. They've expended a lot of resources to keep stuff out.
Potentially, yeah. Maybe all these pit traps were here, and that's why they chose this place. Like, maybe they're just lazy as hell.
Possibly.
Either way, I know that we need to rest. But I don't think we have long.
If you guys are going to attempt a short rest, I need one person to give me a single D12 luck roll.
Do that. Everyone sees Knots stand shakily up and reach into my pouch, and I pull out a little root and start chewing. And then I turn around and look at all of you, and I kind of take a couple steps and then run and jump. So I ate my jumping root. I can leave anywhere within far range without needing to roll, and I'm going to jump back.
Yeah. Back with the group. Yeah, but if you guys are gonna try and do a short rest, I need a single D12 luck roll by one person.
Before we rest, Kaboon does come up and like snuggle me, and I just like bury my head against his head, and we take a moment to use creature comfort.
No.
So that I am no longer vulnerable by myself on the other side of the pit.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I'll roll.
Okay. Give me that D12 roll.
The hell? What just happened?
The hell?
I rolled a 12.
Okay. Yeah, you guys
Insta death
in.
for everyone. Oh, sorry.
You guys run into 12 meteor showers.
Yeah, you guys settle in for a short rest in this tunnel. Triss spends some time wielding her magic and essentially giving a burial within this cave system to her fallen companion. And then Triss is also going to clear stress and repair armor.
So I switched in recovery at the start for versatile fighter.
Okay.
My long rest action will be recover stress. And then I will clear my armor slot. And then the dagger will heal me for the hit point.
Great.
Sorry, just to clarify, we're doing short or long rest?
Short, but I get one long rest
Cool.
action.
I just want to make sure I was looking at the right list.
Do we lose your rally die when we rest, Maggie?
No.
Well, it's per
the whole
session.
session.
It's once per session. It's once per session.
Okay.
I am going to repair my armor and clear stress.
Yeah, and Triss is going to use the rally die to clear stress as well.
Is anyone preparing?
I wasn't. If you need to prepare, I can.
Oh, no, I was just, if anyone's preparing, I will prepare with you to get you 2 hope instead.
Well, since I actually rolled really high on the rally die, she's not going to use the clear stress action. Let's see. She is going to clear hit points instead. Great.
Oh, the rally dice is D8, right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use that. Yeah. I will use the rally die to clear some stress, and one of my actions to clear stress, and then I'll use the other one to clear hit points. Okay.
Great.
And I will clear stress and tend to wounds.
Wonderful.
If anybody's got like something that they're really damaged on 2 things, let me know.
I mean, Trish is good. She just has 2 marked armor slots. But everything, and then she has 1 hope. But everything else is.
I have 2 stress marked and 2 HP, but that marked. But that's about it.
Were you clearing health as part of your rest, or?
No.
Okay.
I have a stress marked.
Well, I can't help you with your health since you didn't take that action. Essentially, I can give someone else a long rest action if they needed something, that they were doing to be more than the D4. Spend hope for it.
My stress. I cleared my, or I didn't completely clear my stress. I rolled the highest I could, and I still didn't clear it all.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I should have said this earlier. Sorry. I'll spend the hope to give you a long rest on the stress.
Great. Yeah. As you guys kind of settle in and take a breather in this moment, still kind of keeping an eye out, and Nick's especially understanding that you might be cutting it close to something.
Mm-hmm.
Realizing, or something coming up behind you, or something triggering. You guys settle in and patch yourselves up, repair your armor.
That's
do
impressive
whatever
insight, Nix.
things you might want to do. You guys quickly pull yourselves together, and it's time to move on.
Yeah.
You finish your short rest. You're feeling better than you were. There's a pit in front of you, and God knows what behind you.
Triss, maybe one of us should go over with a rope, and then the others stay here. That way, in case something happens, people have that rope to keep from falling into the pit, if we can hold it between us. Or Nix.
Yeah.
Nix is decently strong as well, I believe.
Yeah. I'll jump over first. She's big, so she can throw people. And also has greater reach, so maybe it's not as big of a deal for her.
Are you going to attempt to make the jump, or are you going to, Grace suggested attempting to telekinetically pull you over?
I'll attempt to make the jump. I think it's probably very similar.
I'm gonna have telekinesis prepped just in case something happens.
Yeah, if you want to launch me.
I mean, she
That's awesome.
can, but it would cost a hope to essentially help you with your.
I can do that. I'm full up on hope.
All right.
Then yeah, you can make a strength roll.
Everybody always tells me I'm full of it, but I don't have that much hope.
With advantage.
With advantage, I got a good roll. 18 and 3 is 21.
Great. With hope or fear?
With hope.
Great. Take your hope. And yeah, you feel the magic assist as you leap from the edge. And there's a second where you're in the air and you're like, I'd be short. And then feel that push. And you land in a classic kind of superhero roll and land and stop on your knees on the other side of the pit.
3-point landing.
And then, like, he'll turn and say thanks. And then he'll pull the rope tight. Is there any, like, stalagmite that he could...
Not in this tunnel. The closest things to stalagmite are the spikes at the bottom of the pit.
Okay.
Real quick question.
Oh.
Sorry. When this fell in, did it just like crumble and fall in, or was there like a retracting of the floor, or?
Yeah, it was like you stepped and then there was nothing, almost as if there was an illusion of rock.
I'm going...
That was broken by knots falling through it.
I am going to take out my sword and cut a, like, whittle away a little, like, hand hold, like a little thing that I can tie the rope to. And I'm gonna
Sure, give me a finesse roll.
Okay. It's a 19. With hope.
With
Hope.
Great. Take your hope. Yeah, you with your lightsaber just cut like an anchor point that you kind of tie the rope around, like bring it around, and then also have you like anchoring it as well to the point in the wall.
I think we need to buy a metal pole that Nyx carries, so he could just cut into stuff with his lightsaber and then just put the pole.
Right. On the other side, I'm like,
Nyx
he should have just
their
done that.
lightsaber.
On the other
Big
side, I'm just
fan.
like, oh, he should have done that on this side. We could have just climbed down and climbed over there and then just climbed up and it would have been fun. Anyway.
If you wouldn't have, I don't know, walked across it before anyone had a chance to do anything.
Me falling down there did save you from falling. Well, not you specifically, but other people.
I can still drop you.
Anyways, so there's now a rope that is anchored and being held by Nyx at the other side of the pit, while the rope is being held by Triss on this side of the pit.
Triss, how are you going to get over?
Jump.
She also has the jumping rope.
She also just like takes a step and it's like half of the
Right.
distance anyways. So
Just remember what happened last time that you jumped and the ceiling wasn't super high and you caught your horns on that.
Yeah, I know.
Just be careful.
All right, well, let's get across this thing.
Gotta-
Aw.
Hi, Amira.
Bye.
Or no, that's not. Is that Amira or Asha?
Sasha.
Okay.
Bye bye.
The walls that go down into it, are they sheer or are they like carved out and kind of craggy?
They're more sheer. I mean, it's not like completely like, sewn and flat. Like there are like, rock like edges, but it's pretty straight up and down. as if it was like chiseled out and not like, you know, there's imperfections, but it's not be very difficult to climb out of the edges of this pit. Who wants to go next? I know I have a kitty in my arms and it's distracting.
It's a baby.
I'm gonna go second to last. Because I want to make sure that, like, if something happens, I can just telekinesis someone.
Stoy.
All right, I can go.
Yeah, how are you using the rope to attempt to cross?
Yeah, I'm using the rope.
Great. Give me an agility roll.
Okay. That'd be 9 with hope.
Oh no.
Telekinesis.
Yeah. You start to like try and like, you know, pull yourself across using
That
rope,
rope's slick.
and you get about like a good far enough away that you wouldn't be able to like try and grab the ledge.
Yeah.
You start to slip and fall. Grace, I know you have telekinesis up ready to help. I need a spellcast roll.
A 4 and a 1.
Yeah, that was rough. At least it was with hope.
Yeah.
14 with hope.
A 14 with hope. Yeah. Hi, cat fur. In the mouth. In the mouth. Okay.
Where did all the hair come from?
No, I have all in my mouth.
It's how we defeated the GM. We sent the cats.
Soy like slips and starts to fall, and you like reach out with your prepared like telekinesis to try and grab him, and you feel this presence like reach out and like press, but it only presses against like half of your body, and so then you start to like you were falling towards your back, and then you get like kind of flipped and are falling face forward now as the telekinesis cannot fully grasp onto you. You are falling towards the spikes. I need a finesse reaction roll.
Okay.
Avoid impalement.
That'd be a
Dice
14
jail.
with hope.
Sorry, with what?
Hope.
No,
14.
it was a total. Sorry, 14.
Yeah.
14 with hope. You twist and you manage to avoid most of the spikes, but there's one that comes like straight up through your shoulder, and you take. Oh, I rolled really low on that one. Lucky you. You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall,
Okay.
and then you take. Physical damage. You take. Where's that other one? There you are. An additional 10 points of physical damage from the spike that gets shoved through your shoulder.
Oh. Try to see if I can get up without hurting myself even more.
If Grace would like to make another telekinesis roll to try and pull Stoy up off of their impalement.
That is a 12. No, 13
With
with fear.
you start kind of trying to shift upwards, but the spike is pretty tall. It's like an 8-foot spike.
That's a
And
long
you
spike.
slid down it, and you start like lifting yourself up, and then you feel a presence like lifting you up, and it's lifting you up, and you can see like you coming up off the spike, but there's about like this much left when the grip loses its hold and you fall back down, taking another
Sorry.
11 points of physical damage as you fall back down, still
That's an armor slot, so I dropped
impaled.
I think your help's going to kill me.
I'm going to spend a stress.
Triss is holding the rope. Triss is holding the rope and looks. Triss is holding the rope and looks over at me, and I just am like, there's a moment where I lick my lips slightly because in my head, back at the Adventurers Guild, we had those kebabs. Yeah, remember those kebabs with the mushrooms and the meat and the vegetables? And there's just like this moment where Knots is just like, and then I blink and look around, and look a little chagrined as Triss just is like,
oh my goodness. Triss is going to look at you, Grace, and say, calm down. You can do this. You can do it.
I have a DM question.
Yeah.
So I have Sorcerer's Hope.
Yeah, you gotta tell me what that is.
Spend 3 hope after a spellcast roll to double the result of your hope die.
Okay. I mean, you can if you want to. You don't know if that's going to make it a success or failure, especially since I don't know what you rolled on your hope dice.
I haven't rolled yet.
She's talking about rolling again. Yeah, not the last one.
Yeah.
Really boosted.
Not on the last one.
I mean, you can always choose to spend 3 hope to try and do that. You don't know if it'll cause it to succeed or not. It will just, like, let's say you rolled a 7 and a 6. And 7 was on your hope dice. You had a 13. You could spend the 3 hope, and that makes that 14 plus 6, 20 plus whatever modifiers you have.
Okay.
So it's a choice you can do, but it's after you roll.
It's after I roll?
It's after you roll.
Sweet.
Yeah. Why would you? You don't have to spend it beforehand.
I critted!
Good.
That's why it's after.
Right.
That's why it's after.
That wasn't my question, though. My question was, if I were to double my hope dice and it reaches the same number as my other dice, does that count as a crit?
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
No, it just doubles the result of the hope dice. It doesn't. You can't like manufacture a crit.
Would
Gotcha.
if that were the case, would your last roll have been a crit?
No.
Oh, okay.
But the one before that would have been.
Well, with a crit, you take a hope and clear stress as Triss gives you a little pep talk, and you try again, and so you feel your body smoothly pulled up off of the spike and gently carried over and rested next to Nyx on the other side of the pit.
As soon as I get off the spike, I'm afraid I'm going to go back down. I'm going to quickly put my hand there and spend 3 hope for regeneration.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna say to Grace,
Hey,
I'm glad Triss believed in you, because I sure as hell didn't.
I didn't either, so you.
I heal 3.
Nice. While this has been going on, just kind of looking down in this pit, is there are these like a bed of nails, skewers, just like completely carpeting this floor?
Yeah, it's kind of like rhubarb, if rhubarb existed. It's just these thin stone, like hardened metal spikes.
If someone were down on that level, can they walk around it?
Not easily. You know that it was only your pretty high finesse roll that prevented you from not hitting a single one in the way that you like contorted your body. And so
but like once you're at the bottom, you don't have
that-
to like worry about it being impaled. So could you just like squeeze?
You don't have to worry
through?
about getting impaled, but they're stacked close enough together that it would be a pretty significant like contortionist act to it'd be easier for you and almost impossible for someone like Triss
Right.
to move through the...
But when you're an ooze like a cat, they could probably...
When you're ooze?
Yeah.
Cats are a liquid.
Cats are a liquid, exactly. I mean, there's photographic proof of it. You just pour them into a bowl, they take on the bowl shape. You can put them into anything, they take on that shape. So, because, looking at Grace and Triss, I'm just like, there's no way that Kavoon's going to get over there on this rope.
I mean, Kavoon could try to jump. 20 feet would be difficult, but not impossible for Kavoon to jump. He is a cat, and a large cat. Cats are pretty good at jumping.
I'm just saying that Knots isn't going to let that happen. So she's like, this isn't going to happen. So what are we going to do about this?
You say that out loud?
Yes.
I take out my jumping root and hold it out to Kavoon.
And Kavoon in complete cat style is like...
Yeah, you're like, this isn't going to happen. And the cat's like, yeah, fuck you. Yes, it is.
You're like, here, take the treat. And the Kavoon's just like, no. Just like swats it. He'll sniff it. And
do not throw that into the pit.
Right. Doink. Oh.
Well, fuck you too.
Well, let's be honest. It'd be more likely that Knots would do that than
Right.
Kavoon. Who's the cat in this relationship? Let's be honest.
Kavoon does like sniff it, and then
Knots doesn't think she's a god.
very true.
We sure about that?
I mean, Knots thinks they're invincible like a god. They may not think that they are a god, but they think they're invincible.
When Knots
like
is DMing Castles and Centaurs, she is absolutely a deity of some kind.
What I need is a one-shot spin-off of Knots running Castles and Centaurs.
Jeremy, I literally messaged
Right,
Jeremy about
like
that
10 minutes ago. Love it.
Grace, were you going to use your route to get across?
I can fly myself across.
Okay.
Yeah, Kavoon stops mid-chew.
Kavoon has chewed the jumping route and can easily...
And I'll get on Kavoon and just be like, if we go down together, buddy, and I'm going to hang on.
I won't. You don't even have to make a check. You ride Kavoon all the time, and even though this jump is a bit more significant than normal, you're comfortable riding Kavoon.
Being on
and there's a saddle.
Jumping PCP
so.
Helps. Okay.
Yes. The two of you get across. Kavoon makes the jump.
I am clenching when you get to the other side, and Astoy and Nix, you see I am clenching a little harder than maybe you're used to me seeing, and I'm like, got my eyes closed. Are we dead yet?
Yep.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Good job, buddy.
Grace.
I'm gonna use the rope, but I'm gonna telekinesis myself as well.
All right, give me a telekinesis check first, and then an agility roll.
This is not gonna go well, guys.
I don't know, you rolled a lot of crits lately.
That's a 12 with
Okay.
hope.
For your spellcast roll?
Yep.
Okay, you can take that hope. Give me your agility roll.
Sorry, if I could do anything to help here, I would, but I've got nothing.
That's an 8.
Oh.
With?
Hope.
Okay, you're gonna take the hope.
Can I can I double my?
You can spend 3 hope and double
Yeah.
your hope dice. What is the total?
That's 14.
Okay. With a 14, and having seen that was what Astoy got previously and fell. Triss is going to spend a prayer dice to make it a 15. I rolled 4 ones on her prayer dice, guys. It was a bad day. To make it a 15, in the hope that is enough. And it is. The 15 is the DC for climbing the rope across. And so you at one point like slip, and you feel yourself falling for a second. Your legs slip, but your hands are still on the rope, and you can feel yourself slipping, and you feel Triss pull back on the rope to like tighten the tension even more, and that helps you stay on. And you swing your legs back up and manage to get yourself across. Triss is going to tie the rope around her waist as just in case she falls kind of
I'll
thing.
go over to help Nyx, just because I think we're going to need more strength on it. Just in
I'm
case.
also going to use telekinesis on her, just to be safe. And I'm spending a hope to give her advantage.
Okay. And she is going to make an agility roll as she just tries to jump across. Great. It's a 21 with fear. So I will take that. But easily enough, you see that the hardest part for her when she makes this jump is the way that like she scrunches her head and shoulders together as she comes up off the ground to try and prevent herself from scraping the top of the tunnel in her leap. And she like, because she has to like scrunch herself up and she can't leap as high, she ends up like essentially landing on her knees on the edge of the pit, and then falls forwards onto her hands and knees, but she made it.
We don't get like a Mufasa Scar moment.
No.
Like a Titanic Rose.
If she'd rolled lower, maybe.
Yeah.
Knots isn't strong enough to hold me over the pit.
Right. I'll never let go.
But the group of you have made it across the pit and are ready to continue forward. Now, me knowing what lies ahead and the fact that we're missing a player, I feel like this might be a good place to leave off.
Fair.
For the night, as you guys have navigated through the first bit of this dungeon crawl.
The first 2%
As
of the
Knots
traps.
would put it.
The first 2%.
Don't do that to me.
This is my first real attempt at doing a dungeon crawl in Daggerheart, so I'm interested to see how you guys like it. I've done like smaller ones, but this is like a true.
Yeah.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you're having fun, and we'll be back in 2 weeks because I am going to see a play on Friday.
No, I'm going to a music festival.
If we make it through this and like we need like a fast forward to 20 years from now when Knots is like a famous publisher of Castles and Centaurs, and this is his, like super dungeon. Right. Or super dungeon.
2024 edition.
or it's Knots in like a straitjacket and like
right. Well, no. So it starts off and it's like all of those things, and then it cuts to Knots being in a straitjacket, dreaming about being a successful publisher.
What are you talking about? The Broken Spine is just their world that they published. That's what we're talking about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, tune in here at 2 p.m. Eastern for our second one-shot of Warped FM, which is currently on Kickstarter. It is a podcasting TTRPG where the podcasters have found a interdimensional... it's not really a portal. It's like a communication tunnel in their communal laundry room in their apartment building. And they decided, well, going to start a podcast and interview aliens. Why not? Jason will be in on that, playing one of the aliens, I think.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, nice. So looking forward to that. And then, well, geez, that's actually it for this weekend. It's a slow weekend, so cool. Anyone else got stuff coming up?
I don't have anything else coming up, but I'm going to plug my friend's booth at, I think it's DundraCon.
Nice.
Up in Santa Clara. My friend Thornhill Gaming makes really nice dice jails.
Beautiful.
And a lot of other like wooden things. She hand makes them, and I think that they're basically like wormwood quality, but they're better company.
Right.
So go ahead, check out her website. It's thornhillgaming.com. She's a very dear friend of mine. She doesn't know that I'm doing this right now. So, yeah.
Excellent.
I have my Daggerheart game that I play in that is on YouTube on the Rolling Until Ragnarok channel, where, well, my little cinnamon roll of a wizard toddles around, hitting things with her book and casting magic, and it's great. It's really great fun, and we're not at all being hunted by fluoromorphs, so it's good. It's good
Perfect. Stuff. And then on Wednesday, you're in the final episode of Dead on Spawn over on Dirty Vortex.
Let's see if I can. How many more deals I can make in one more episode? Because I certainly haven't died yet, so right. I guess it's about the number of deals for me.
That's fair. We did finally have the first character death that wasn't self-inflicted in episode 5. Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, hey, thanks everybody for joining us. If you're watching live, we're going to raid over to Folk and Myth, so hang out for that. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like and subscribe button. That'd be fantastic of you. Thanks so much, and everybody have a good night. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Like, follow, and obey.
That's right. Oh, burn.
Oh.